Perfect. So, hi Ritesh, Kritika, Rensul, and Aparna.
Hi.
Thank you for
Hi.
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 being with us. My name is Malika. I'm one of the hosts at Urban Asian, and I'm excited to talk to you today about Bombay Meri Jaan.
Thank you.
So, how do you kind of envision filming an episode before you actually shoot it on the back end as directors and producers?
Okay, just to clarify, Shujat is the director. I'm the writer, the head writer on the show, and I guess it's all led, really. As long as you have your script in place, and in this case, 10 of them, and your characters and your arcs and as long as everything is on the page, you move into a prep, and that's how we do it. But I think the emphasis initially is getting the story right.
So, kind of going along that lens, developing the story, what makes you want to create this into a 10-part series? Because the criminal underworld in Mumbai has been shown before in films. So, what makes this different?
I mean, what makes it different is I think the genre is very popular, right? Obviously, we know, but there are many such series or films made as well. But I think what is true to any other thing we make is the emotional connect, right? Do you really relate to this material? Do you see this translating from on paper to screen, right? And those are all the factors we consider. And I know the genre is common, but it's also extremely popular. People love it. And I think with this, what made it different was like the material when it came to us from Mr. Zaidi was so potent and so rich because it was actually showing you the birth of the underworld against when India got its freedom, right? So it was a free nation, what freedom meant to its people and what it meant to the underworld, right? So there was a very strong story there, and it also seemed very believable because you know of that world, you know of these people, and with Mr. Zaidi's work and in his days as a journalist, which covered almost over 3 decades, I think he had taken a little bit of inspiration from all those of those 3 decades, and infused it into the story, various characters, and it became so believable, right? Because you knew certain references. All of us, when you watch it, you might feel, oh, this is similar or familiar with a person you've seen before. You'll see various characters and you'll start, but you'll realize at some point when you reach the end of the season that okay, he's taken a lot off from various people. It's not just one story. So I think that made it. But like I said, in deeply what connected to us was this relationship which the principal characters had, between each other, the emotional connect, and very, very strong. So I think that's what all of us loved. And the minute we put that material forward, when you start casting it, you start taking it to Aparna and the team, and everybody, I think, instantly just got attached to it.
Yeah, so speaking about the characters, Kritika, how did you get your role in the series and how would you describe Habiba's character to audiences?
So I auditioned for it and got selected for the part, thankfully. Um, Habiba is a resilient and resourceful young woman. Okay, she's stubborn like her father, courageous like her brother, and gets the mother in the family and how she's the glue of the household because she's the only girl. Um, this is how she's related to the father and son whose story we're telling. But also, she has a mind of her own. You kind of see what she wants and what her own aspirations are, and how far she'd go to get them through this season. So it was very interesting for me to firstly read a character like this and then to be able to play it because it's so different from everything else that I've done before, firstly. And it's also very different from the women that I've seen on screen, in this genre.
Yeah, so kind of speaking of your journey from something different than you've ever done before, this is a period action, TV series. How did you prep for that? Was there anything in particular you did to prep for either your audition or your role?
So I'm not from Mumbai. The dialect was really challenging for me because this is how people on the streets in Mumbai spoke in 1960s, 70s. So that dialect was very specific, the way they talk and the language, the slangs, things that they use. That to pick up that and to be comfortable and not look like I'm trying too hard was actually the challenge that really kept me up at nights at times. And then the body language of the character, it's again because it's different from me, the cultural milieu that they come from, that they're in, Just all of that makes the way this character walks and talks different from us today in 2023. So just to be able to get that right was tough, but also made very comfortable and, great for me by the rest of the team, because just the attention to detail that we have in the physical world around us, the sets, the costumes, the styling, everything was so authentic that it really helped to become that person.
Yeah, and so that kind of beautifully leads me into my next line of questioning. Did you ever shoot on location, or how were sets built, etc.? What was that kind of environment like?
I mean, you can't. It's because you're recreating an era. You can't shoot on actual location. If you've been to Mumbai, you know that everything, the whole landscape has changed. So from where it was in the 60s. So obviously, a lot of it was like this massive set which was constructed. I mean, obviously with the cars, the period. So we had to change a lot of it. So, but if you're asking her a process of walking into that set and feeling, we've tried our level best with production design. And it's not only that, it's also the costume, it's the makeup, it's everything around you. Obviously will help you realize that you're in that. And I don't know whether you've seen the show. And if you've seen
Yes.
it, you can tell us, have we managed to make you feel that we've taken you into that era? Then I think we did a good job if you felt that.
Absolutely. I think there were points throughout the series when I was watching it that I felt emotional seeing the characters' growths in that era in Mumbai. And Mumbai is one of my favorite cities to go visit. So it looks beautiful, on screen.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So my last question for all of you is, what was kind of your favorite scene to shoot? And then specifically for Aparna, what kind of drew you towards wanting to bring Bambai Meri Jaan into Amazon Prime India?
So, shall I begin?
Yeah.
At Prime Video, we are always wanting to tell stories that are rooted, that are exciting, that are compelling. And crime, like Ritesh was mentioning earlier, is a genre that cuts across, always works. We've produced Mirzapur with Excel, another crime drama, which worked very, very well. But what specifically drew us to this story was the emotional core of the story. The father-son dynamics, the dysfunctionality of the family, the conflict of nature versus nurture, the haves and the have-nots. Like there are the skyscrapers on one side and there are the chawls on the other side in Mumbai. It's the legacy of the father and the ambition of the son, and very, very strong women in the show. I think that is what drew us to this show.
Awesome. So kind of, again, moving into the second part of that question, what was your favorite scene to either see, filmed on the production or direction or writing aspect, or for Kritika, you to kind of film on screen?
It's a scene in the last episode of this season. I can't tell you much about it, but it was something that everybody was kind of looking forward to. I was when I read it. And yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
You
that's
have
my
to watch
favorite
the
scene
whole.
also. Yeah, it is. I'm being serious. Because it leads you to state season 2.
Yeah.
Amazing. So thank you so much for speaking with me today. And I absolutely love the series and I can't wait for everyone to see it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.